Karen, who's going to explore these interconnecting elements involved.
Yeah, so the learning within the game. The learning can be about knowledge, you know. It can be about physical activity, but it can also be about the way we feel and our beliefs and our values. So the game can transform a person in multiple ways. Content knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, and physical behaviours. That's a pretty big change that we're asking for. So we have to be very thoughtful about the way we design the game. We say that there are 3 parts to how we place the person into the game environment on the computer. There's the person, the content, and the context.
Jadi ada 3 hal utama waktu kita membuat game, dan karena game ini sangat kompleks harus dibuat dengan hati-hati. Ada 3 hal. Yang pertama mengenai orang, yang kedua mengenai isinya, yang ketiga mengenai konteksnya.
So the game becomes almost a world or a place within itself. The game becomes a virtual context. The player is the person who is actually active in that context or world. The things and actions they make in that online world can actually affect the world itself.
Jadi konsepnya itu jadi 3 hal ini sangat berhubungan. Yang satu, di game itu orang-orang yang memakai itu mereka tuh juga bisa membuat isi dari game itu mengaruhi dunia maya di gamenya itu, dan dunia maya yang di gamenya itu terus sebagai konteksnya tadi.
Now, as the player is going through the context or the game world, they'll need to make choices and decisions, but they need information to make those choices and decisions. So the ideas, and in our case the nanotechnology ideas or content, is embedded in the game. So as they play through the world, which is the context, they can change the world by the decisions they make and the information or content they draw out of the game. So without them even knowing it, we're actually teaching them science. And they're learning about the nature of science itself. That science is inquiry-based, which you're going to talk more about tomorrow, and that we can try out new and different ideas and learn from those experiments or investigations. So they learn something about the nature of science as well as content. In our game, we're giving them some nanotechnology ideas, some content about nanotechnology. But the game itself also encourages them to think about using science to make an informed decision.
Jadi di game itu yang dibuat oleh mereka, jadi informasi mengenai nanoteknologi itu ada di game. Tapi dari informasi yang nanoteknologi yang diberikan dalam game itu, yang orang-orang tidak sadar akan pakai, itu bisa mereka pakai misalnya di game itu untuk membuat keputusan dalam game itu.
And sometimes with new technology, not all new technology is good. Sometimes technologies have a bad effect on the environment or long-term health or health for people. So we also want them through this game to think about their beliefs and valuing of new technologies. We want them to be critically thinking, not just accepting that if somebody says this is good, that they go, okay, well this is good. We want them to ask the questions. What does that mean? How does it work? What effect will that have on me? What effect will that have on my family? What effect will that have on my community?
Jadi dengan game ini, salah satu tujuannya juga membuat orang-orang pemakainya berpikir secara kritis. Misalnya mengenai pengaruh teknologi yang baru tidak semuanya bagus, ada juga yang jelek mengenai berhubungan dengan kesehatan misalnya. Nah, untuk dengan game ini diharapkan orang-orang bukan cuma bermain game, oh iya ini semua bagus, tapi juga berpikir, oh iya apakah ini benar-benar bagus, apakah ini ada pengaruh yang lain.
So,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter? Alright, I'll just keep going and I'll hand over to Martin. So within the game, we need to keep them motivated while they're engaging with the game. So parts of the game that make it fun and the game component to it, there's a little bit of competition with the
Jadi
game.
di dalam game itu ada unsur kompetisinya supaya yang bermain itu tetap senang bermain game itu.
Also that there is a story in the game and it's a bit of a challenge, bit of a dilemma.
Jadi ada cerita seperti misalnya telenovela, ada dilemanya, ada misterinya apa, jadi ada di situ di game itu.
So as they play the game, the storyline unfolds, and they can also have some effect on the direction they take through the game and the way the story unfolds for them.
Jadi ada arah-arah di mana mereka pakai game, terus di mana nanti gamenya tergantung pilihannya, terus nanti gamenya arahnya kemana.
Oh, Karen, tell us about Unity.
This is software.
Okay, so it's good to make a game, right? It's educational, but how do you do it, right? So has anybody made a game?
Ada pernah buat game? Baru.
It's okay. It's easy, right? Well, it's not that hard actually, right? Because it is very hard to make a game from nothing, right? But there's tools that you can use that help you quite a lot, right? So, for example, if you go to the store and if you buy a game that's in a box, that game would have had a big team of people, maybe 100 people or more, millions and millions of dollars spent on it, and it would have been in production for, let's say, 2 to 5 years. Right? We don't have that much money. Right, so we need to use tools that let us make games cheaper and faster. Right? And so we've used a tool called a game engine. Right? What a game engine does, it has all the common components of what you need to do a game. So in a game, you have 3D graphics. Right? There's objects in a 3D world that interact. There's a lot of mathematics behind that interaction, but we don't have time to program all that, so that's why we use a game engine where it's included.
Jadi untuk di game engine yang dipakai, kan kita nggak mungkin karena game itu terlalu kompleks, ada membutuhkan waktu banyak, membutuhkan waktu banyak, dalam waktu yang banyak. Nah, kelompoknya ini membuat dengan game engine itu misalnya salah satu contoh yang diberikan itu misalnya untuk interaksi 3D ya, misalnya di dalam game itu 3D. Nah, sebenarnya kan ada matematika banyak di 3D itu. Nah, tapi dengan game engine ini nanti bisa dilakukan tanpa perlakuan matematika, tinggal dipakai lebih gampang. Nanti akan jelaskan.
And so all we need to do if we have a game engine is two things. We need assets. So what an asset is could be how a button looks. The actual 3D model of a person or car or any element in the game. Basically the graphics, sounds that are unique to the game we're making. So we need assets. And the other thing we need is basically game logic that's also unique to our game. So things like if this character gets close to this position, maybe pop up some kind of information. So that's an example of the game logic. So all the generic stuff like 3D graphics, keyboard, mouse, playing a sound, that's taken care of by the game engine, and we just put in our art and our custom game code to make the game work as we want it to.
Jadi ada dua hal yang utama di sini, misalnya aset itu misalnya tombol atau hal-hal yang bisa dipencet, itu komponen-komponen dari game itu tinggal dipakai. Terus yang kedua itu game logic, jadi logika game. Jadi dengan aset-aset yang ada itu dipakai, misalnya ada satu karakter dengan karakter lain, misalnya mereka berdekatan, apa yang akan terjadi. Nah, itu ditentukan di logika game. Nah, setelah itu komponen-komponen